So let me tell you a little bit about Chi Kri yoga. So people ask me, where did Chi Kri yoga come from and what is this? Because it's a relatively unknown style of yoga. No one really knows what it's about, not that many people. Well, I started Chi Kri yoga in about 1994, 1995. And the reason I done it is because I didn't want people just to be learning, or I didn't want to just teach the regular style of yoga of postures and meditations and pranayama, but I wanted to give something else. And I wanted to give something which I believed makes me a better person, or makes me understand the world in a better way and relate to the world in a better way. And I'm happy with myself, and I wanted that aspect to be in other people as well. So the four limbs that are classical, which are part of Chi Kri yoga, are Hatha yoga, which you know, postures and sequences, the pranayama, so the breathing exercises, the meditations or the Chi Kri meditation techniques, which are a massive part of what I teach, relaxation, which has a limb of its own, which relates quite classically to the limb of pratyahara in Patanjali's yoga system of sense withdrawal. But the four other limbs that I've incorporated in Chi Kri yoga are diet. Diet being because a human being needs to have total understanding of their own system and be a doctor unto themselves. So they need to know how to make their food their medicine. As Hippocrates says, one should become their own doctor and use the food as their own medicine. The other aspect of Chi Kri yoga that is important is the yogic science. So it's no good just having a basic understanding of philosophy of yoga and roughly where we come from and why we're here roughly. An individual needs to know exactly how their soul came into being, exactly what this thing called God or the Spirit is, where the universe came from, how atoms are formed, and all of these things to understand truly what is going on in the world. If you don't know why you're here, then why are you here? If you don't know the answer to that question in a scientific way, something you can prove, then you shouldn't be in here. You wouldn't go to work if you didn't know the technical aspects of everything in your job or why you're doing it. Same with life. So yogic science is that massive part to learn. The other aspect of Chi Kri yoga is creativity. So this basically means that a human being should have the ability to express themselves and express all of their inner notions, spiritual, emotional and mental, in a very clear, understood way. This could be through arts, through music, through writing, through dance, through anything that they feel comfortable with. But if you don't have that ability to express yourself, normally it renders the person sterile in change, or it renders them inert, or it renders them frustrated. They can't change, they develop, and they develop angers and problems because they can't express. So creativity is a way of expression. And the final limb of this, very briefly, of Chi Kri yoga is mind yoga, which is the ability to express what's going on in your soul, to express what's going on in your mind, to understand it, to know what the mind is, which is just a computer, to manipulate it, to make changes within yourself. As you'll see in this website, 7 years ago I had a cancer in my leg, and I used mind yoga, changing the blueprint of my mind to change the energy that was in my body, to change the physical aspects of what was going on with my illness. So I overcome a whole disease by changing my mind. So mind yoga is that element which connects your soul with the outside world through the power of words, phrases, and using the samskaras, the scars and the blueprints of your brain to make changes. So those four things that I just waffled on about are the new aspects of yoga: Chi Kri yoga, diet, creativity, science and mind yoga, and the four classical limbs: Hatha yoga, postures, which is postures, pranayama, meditation and relaxation. Those are eight different limbs which incorporate Chi Kri yoga. Now, the word chi, why am I using the word chi? The word chi means energy of the highest form. In yoga they call that prana, or people call it life force, or people in Japan they call it ki. It's that force that you can't quantify. It's the force that one day when you're not feeling like getting up in the morning, you feel tired, and then a person that you like or a person that you fancy calls you and says, okay, do you want to meet up? Suddenly you've got all the power in the world. You're ready and you're out the door. That is energy that you cannot quantify. That's chi. When you have a headache and you feel like you can't do anything, but suddenly you get a phone call from a job and it's paying you £200 an hour. Suddenly headache's gone, you're out the door. Don't think about it. the headache actually disappears. The person that has cancer, the person that has an illness and gets over it, but you can't quantify how, they've got their chi up, they've got their power up. Someone like Bruce Lee had an amazing amount of chi, this force. It was only tiny, but the force that ran through his muscles was chi. And he harnessed it, and he was able to beat people up 3-4 times his size. It's chi. So this is chi. Kri, the other aspect, Kri is basically a root verb that is used in words like karma, which is the results of your actions, and kriya, which means to act. So Kri just simply means action. So together, Chi Kri means use the highest energy for the highest actions. The yoga symbolizes the unification that is a product of Chi Kri.